she was only 54 years old. You know, young kids. I mean, her youngest child was 19, but that's still young to lose a parent. And now we're trying to help Mike navigate the next phase of life because he planned to be with Janine his entire life.
Yeah.
But we have an amazing friend group, and no matter what we got going on, we stop what we're doing and we're there for each other.
That's
Beautiful.
Wow. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it back to Tiara on our third topic.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about like next stages of life. So like, if you were to leave early college, do you have anything planned for your life, or would you actually become an author? Would you become an
I don't know. I would love to become an author. I need to work closely with the English department girls.
Absolutely.
So that they can help me with the editing part of it. And that's why I like when I do go to an English class, I love to sit and watch the teachers teach anything about editing or whatever. I was in Miss Robinette's class the other day, and she was preparing for a Socratic seminar. And she noticed in giving students feedback with their questions that they struggle with understanding the difference between effect, E-F-F-E-C-T, which is the result of, and then affect, A-F-F-E-C-T, which is to be influenced by something. And just sitting there watching her talk through it and helping kids understand the how and when do you use it, and giving them concrete examples. And I just love that because if you want to be a good writer, understanding grammar and mechanics is also very important. And so if in my next life, I don't think I'm ever going to retire, although believe it or not, this is year 30 for me in education. I've been in education longer than anybody in this room has been alive. Probably collectively getting close. And I don't know. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, aren't you ready to retire? Because most teachers and educators start to retire around between year 28 and year 30. And I said to them, what would I go home and do? What would I go home and do? And so, I don't know. You know, if I had to leave this position, I would hope that I could find something else to do still in education, whether it's tutoring at a community center or working at the district office. I just like being around young people.
That's beautiful. What would be your dream vacation?
Oh my goodness. My cousin Valerie and I, my cousin Val lives on the edge. I'm not so much. I'm ultra conservative, and she's always like, live a little. So I've been allowing Val to plan summer vacations for me. And I realized that I woke up one day and thought, oh my gosh, you are 52 years old and you don't go anywhere. You do nothing but school. And I've allowed Val to plan trips for me. I went on a cruise last summer, my very first cruise.
Ooh.
I went to Mexico and I went to the Bahamas. The summer before that, I had gone to the Dominican Republic. This Thanksgiving, which I hadn't told my brothers and sisters yet, because holidays are big in my family, I'm going to Cancun, Mexico. So hopefully I'll be back for Thanksgiving.
Yes, ma'am.
And my dream vacation is, for me, I want to backpack across Europe.
That sounds nice.
I think how neat would it be to not just, I love the United States. I love traveling within the United States. I think this is an amazingly beautiful country. And we can get a little bit geography stagnant because you travel from state to state, and there's a lot of beauty in this country to see. But how neat is it to go from country to country, different languages, different customs, the culture, the food.
See the natural beauty of the place.
Neat, yes. How neat would it be? So that's my goal. I want to put a few things in a backpack, and I just want to go across Europe. If I hang with Miss Robinette, I might can make that happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because she's a world traveler.
She taught in what, I believe, somewhere in the Middle East. I always forget, but
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I want to say, is it Butrain? She
Bahrain.
did Bahrain. She did tell me.
Bahrain.
Yeah, she did tell me where she was. But if I stick with her, I might could be a world traveler.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This might be a little hard question, but
Okay.
if you was not a principal or educationer, what would you be?
Oh, I thought about that. I was telling somebody the other day, like, what would I have done if I didn't go to college? Like, it was never a thought not to go to college. I always knew I would go to college. But I thought, what would I do if I wasn't in education? And aside from being a writer, because I don't know if I would have been a writer if I hadn't gone to college. Because in my mind, I equate being a good writer with having gone to college.
Mhm.
But I would have loved to have been a legal secretary. I wanted
Yes,
to, and I think that's probably why I type so fast and well
Keyboards, the
today.
nails, the ASMR.
Yep, I love typing, and I think I
Mhm.
would have been a secretary. And for some reason, I would want to be a secretary in a law office because I've always been intrigued by the law and learning about our Constitution and just policies and procedures. I would have probably wanted to have been a legal secretary in a law office.
Okay, that's a good,
Mhm.
good thing.
I personally, like, I don't like the idea of working a 9 to 5. Like, I don't know. That's just not
Oh, so
my
you're gonna be an entrepreneur.
something of that sort. But you know, also at the same time, I also saw myself doing like a little lazy girl job. You know, waking up early in the morning after Pilates. You know, going to work.
You need to be
typing
a content
up.
creator.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I
You
got
set
it.
your
People
own-
podcast.
You set your own schedule.
Yes, ma'am.
And you set your own goals. Yeah, I can see you
Been
doing
making
that.
good money.
Yep, I can see you doing that.
Okay, so as the teachers and staff here, if you guys were ever to go on like a staff vacation, what would you think you guys would go, and how would you?
Wow. If they let me pick the vacation, we're probably gonna go somewhere where there are museums and stuff. I would love to, believe it or not, they probably would want to do a little bit more. I would love to do Washington D.C. with the staff. That's one of my favorite cities.
I can already see Chapel kicking his feet right
I
now.
love Washington D.C. When I taught school in 8th grade, I was a social studies teacher, as I said earlier, and I was a student council sponsor. And every year I would take the 8th graders to Washington D.C. And most schools hire a travel agent, and the travel agent plans the trip for you. I used to do it myself. I took pride in that trip. That trip was my heart. And every year I would take them to D.C. and I would show them a different aspect of the city. I just love it. And I would love to do D.C. Now, they probably would want to do someplace tropical, or they'd probably want to do someplace fun. If I couldn't do D.C. with them, I would love, love, love to do New York with the teachers. I would love to do Broadway.
I want to go to New York.
I do too.
That's where I'm from. It's,
Yeah.
it's very different pace from
Yeah, we
here.
I
actually
can
saw
imagine.
Tiara whenever we were going to the Florida trip. We saw Tiara at the airport.
Yeah, you like New York? You missed
Yeah.
it?
Sometimes, but I think here's like much better environment. Like
Yeah.
it's slower. Better education here. And it's just,
Yeah.
I feel like here's better for me and my family.
Yeah. I would love to do New York. I want to do Broadway. I want to go to the Apollo Theater.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go to
Those
just I just want to see it. I want to go to Central Park. I want to go to Statue of Liberty. You want to go to Ellis Island.
Yes, ma'am.
So for me, but you see the history teacher. Did y'all see that history teacher come out of me? All the places I've named are historical places. I love, and they probably again would want to do something warm and tropical.
Yeah, 'cause New York is freezing.
Absolutely.
Okay, this one might be actually the toughest one. Is there one thing? If you could change one thing about your past, what would it be?
Wow, that's a tough question. I probably would have found more balance in my life if I could go back and change
Me and
anything.
you both.
I would have
Oh my
found a little more
gosh.
balance. Whenever I get focused on something, I focus on it, and kind of other things go by the wayside. I would have had more balance. I probably would have worked to have more of a family. I have a family. I have siblings. I have nieces and nephews, but I probably would have made more of an effort to get my own little family, like a husband and some children. And that will probably be one of my biggest regrets.
Well, speaking of, that's the last little section for me, so we're gonna turn back to Sam.
This is just simply the reflection. How did you feel about the podcast?
I loved it. And I'm glad that I didn't look at the questions ahead of time, because I feel like the answers came from here, which is what I wanted to convey. And I'm so very proud of you all doing this. When I walked in and I saw this setup, I thought, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I love how you all as students don't let anything stop you. You may not always know how to do it, but you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna try to make it happen. And I love that quality about early college, high school students.
Absolutely.
So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for watching. We really do hope to see you in the next episode. Ms. Williams, do you have any words for our viewers?
No, I'm looking forward to, I said no and then turned around and had a whole conversation. But I'm looking forward to seeing where this podcast go, and I'm very proud of the students who's putting in the work to make this happen, and I'm looking forward to just seeing it blossom.
Awesome.
And I hope the viewers will enjoy it as much as I know I will.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching. Then again, we hope to see you later, Trailblazers. See you soon.
Bye.
And see.